Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about the nuances and the semantics of what actually happens in the quantum field, depending on what we believe to be true. Here we go. It's all about if you're operating from love or if you're operating from fear. These are the two states that are primary states that you can be in either one or the other one. Say, for example, you want to buy that nice suit, right? But you'll buy it because you want people to say, oh, he's dressing well. Now I'm gonna like him because before I didn't. Now I'm gonna like. So you're buying that suit because you're trying to control what others think of you. You do that because you believe if you don't buy that suit, other people will not like you enough or will not like you at all, or they might reject you, right? Because they say, you're not dressed as nicely, you look like a normal person, you're not sleek. Okay, so that means that although you think you buy a suit because you like it, your actual motivation was because you were trying to control the environment, trying to control how people perceive you, which is a fear-based thinking because you're afraid that they might reject you if you don't look good. So it's a fear. So that suit, you're not buying it out of love, you're buying it out of fear, all right? So that means that your belief is that if you don't do that thing, people will not like you. You cannot control their perception of you, right? So it's stemming in fear and in control and not in trust and in love. All right, let's take another example. I have one on my phone here. Let's see. So having that vibration, that belief that people won't like you if you don't buy that suit or don't buy that car, right? And that belief becomes a vibration that is underlying of what you are doing on the outside, right? So your underlying vibration is fear of being rejected or fear of not being liked. And on the outside, with your actions, you go buy a suit or a t-shirt or a car or a Lamborghini or whatever, just so people like you, but the universe does not work like that. The quantum field does not work like that. The quantum field responds on your vibration, and your underlying vibration is a lack. It's a vibration of fear and lack of trust on the outside world that they're gonna like you for who you are. So you need to perform. You need to buy a suit, a Lamborghini. You need to build a business, do whatever, because maybe with the hope that these people will like you. But the fundamental thing is that you believe that those people don't like you the way you are. So because you believe that they don't like you the way you are, you actually make that happen because that's your belief. And you think you need to do something for them to like you, but that means you believe they don't like you. Underlying, under the hood, on the deep end. So that is the semantics and the rhetoric of the vibration in the quantum field, right? Is not what we do to cover up, is what we believe is true deep down. That's what constitutes our vibration, right? So there's three layers if you think of it. Number one is what, like our actions that we do on the outside, and then the belief that we hold on the inside, which is they don't like me, or I'm not enough, or I'm being rejected, or whatever. So I need to do all these things on the outside to cover my lack of trust, or my lack of like my like, right? And that belief constitutes your vibration, right? It influences your vibration. So what you put out in the world is not what you do in the material world. You, like the matrix of reality, is not what you do on the outside of yourself. It's the underlying vibration that you do on the inside of yourself, which is the belief that if I don't buy the Lamborghini, or if I don't buy the suit, or if I don't buy the expensive watch, people won't like me. So that becomes your vibration. People won't like you anyway. Because if you hold that, and if you do things out of that place, then it's not gonna be good. You're not gonna get the outcome. Trust me, I have tried it. I have tried on the surface to do everything correctly. I've done everything correctly on the outside. But if your vibration is, I'm doing this because I want to control that, I want them to like me, that's what's being dispersed, distributed in the quantum field. And they end up not liking you regardless of what you do, right? Now, here's another example. And this is a temporal subtlety. Let's say you want to become an entrepreneur, right? And then you put your mind and you squeeze so much and you think so much about, I want to become an entrepreneur. Again, if it comes from love, that you love to be a business person, then you'll have a lot more chances to achieve it. But if it comes from lack, if it comes from fear, that if you don't do it, people won't like you, won't approve of you, your parents won't approve of you, or your friends will think you're a loser, whatever. If it's coming from fear, then you know what's happening, right? So you need to genuinely just be like, want to serve humanity through entrepreneurship, right? As an example, right? So let's say you want to become an entrepreneur. And you say your mindset is that, oh, I want to become an entrepreneur. Your mindset is not, I am already an entrepreneur and I'm remembering that I am an entrepreneur. It's already in the past. My identity has leaped, has evolved into being already, right? So I don't have to prove to anyone. I don't have to speak it out loud to anyone to seek external validation for my own identity and all that stuff. I just know it and I just be it. Okay, fine. But if your mindset is, oh, I need to do this and this to become an entrepreneur. So basically what you're doing, you're padding, you're creating distance, and you put between you and the future state, which is you becoming an entrepreneur or whatever you want to be, you pad it with this many things that you put in between. But you created them. Your mind created that padding because all the states, according to the quantum physics laws, all the states are in the same time. The present, the past, and the future, they're all existent, right? So you have access to your entrepreneurial identity right now in this very moment. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to wait. You don't have to put things in between. Oh, I need to do that. I need to go to that training, or I need to do that thing. You already are. Once you decide and once you assume it, if it's coming from love and from the heart and not from fear that people won't like you if you don't become a successful entrepreneur, if it comes from love and the way you want to serve humanity, then you already are. You already are. You don't have to go to any course, you don't have to network. You already are in a state of achievement and fulfillment. And from that state on, you operate with vibration on the matrix of reality, and then you'll see that coming from that place, people will network with you naturally. People will come to you for advice in that specific domain that you choose, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to training. Here's the thing, and I've done this mistake myself. Believing that you need like a training, like a 3 months training or a 6 month training or whatever to become an entrepreneur, and that's what's blocking you from becoming an entrepreneur. You're basically saying that you put time, you put distance between. You're basically saying that you're not an entrepreneur yet because you have not gone to that training and you're from a lack. You're not whole. You're still missing something. And that something, it turns into something else and into something else. And you're still missing stuff. And you create padding, you create distance between you and your goals and your identity because your mind is saying you're not, you still need to do that, you still need to do that. But those are the actions on the outside. That's not how it flows. You assume the identity and then the actions on the outside follow. It's not the other way around. It's not that if you do something on the outside, it's going to change your identity on the inside. It's not. You need to operate from identity first, right? So these are the rhetorics and the semantics of the quantum field. You need to go into the underlying motivation of the things that you do on the outside. Are you operating out of love and identity, or are you operating out of fear and lack? Because these are the two vibrations. And I found myself so many times operating with an underlying fear, and most of the times those things didn't work, or even if they worked, there was so much effort, and then at the end they faded because they were not coming from source. They were production of the mind that was trying to control, because the belief was that it was fear, was lack. All right, so just to recap, universe is very subtle. There are two vibrations, love and fear. Sometimes we think we're doing things out of love because we love that car, we love that t-shirt or suit or whatever, but the underlying source is fear because we believe if we don't have those things, we are not enough or people will reject us, right? So if the underlying vibration is fear, then the quantum field responds to that vibration and people will not like you anyway if you're doing that, trying to control the perception of people by doing these actions. Then your underlying beliefs are what are projecting and influencing the quantum field. Your beliefs are the instruction to the quantum field, right? Also, if you want to do something, assume that identity right away. Do not pad it with the fear of the mind that you need to do a lot of things to be able to be that person. Be that person now, because everything that you think you need to do to become that person is padding, is creating distance from you being that person, and becoming is not being. So you create distance and time in between your identity. And you also believe that doing something on the outside of yourself is gonna influence your identity inside of yourself. So you're outside in thing. And that's almost never works, because if your vibration is lack, that you're not there yet, that's what you're gonna propagate in the quantum field. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.